Hello everyone, welcome to our podcast Beneath the Surface. This is Jayadharini, and this episode is all about the most charismatic serial killer of all times, Theodore Robert Bundy, known as Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was an American serial killer who kidnapped, raped, and murdered dozens of young women and girls during 1970s. After more than a decade of denials, he confessed to 30 murders. Bundy had a difficult childhood. He had a strained relationship with his stepfather, and his shyness made him a frequent target of bullying. Later, however, his intelligence and social skills enabled him to enjoy a successful college career, and he developed a series of apparently normal emotional relationships with women. Despite this apparent stability, he sexually assaulted and killed several young women in Washington, Oregon, Colorado, Utah, and Florida between 1974 and 1978. Although he would ultimately confess to 28 murders, some estimated that he was responsible for hundreds of deaths. Bundy's victim profile was young white women aged between 15 to 25 years, often with long dark hair parted in the middle. Bundy's mode of operation typically consisted of simulating having a physical impairment to convince his target that he was in need of assistance, or duping her into believing he was an authority figure. He would then lure his victim to a vehicle parked in the more secluded area, at which point he would plunge on unconscious, then restrain her with handcuffs before driving his victim to a remote location to be sexually assaulted and killed. Bundy frequently revisited the bodies of those he abducted, grooming and performing sex acts on the corpses until decomposition and destruction by wild animals made further interactions impossible. He decapitated at least 12 of his victims, keeping their severe heads as mementos in his apartment. On a few occasions, Bundy broke into homes at nights and bludgeoned, maimed, strangled, and sexually assaulted his victims in their sleep. In Bundy's first arrest in 1975, Bundy was pulled over in Utah, where police found burglary tools in his cars. He was arrested and linked to a kidnapping in Utah. Evidence, including hair samples and witness testimonies, began to connect him to other cases. Bundy escaped custody twice, first from a law library in Colorado in 1977 and then from a jail in Glenwood Springs in Colorado 1977, where he shot through the ceiling and fled to Florida. Bundy was finally arrested in Florida in 1978. After a routine traffic stop, his fingerprints linked him to Chi Omega murders. In Florida, trials from 1979 to 1980, Bundy represented himself in court using his legal training to cross-examine witnesses. Evidence, including bite marks on one of his victims, was pivotal in securing his conviction. Bundy was sentenced to death for the Chi Omega murders and later for Kimberly Leach's murder. Bundy's charismatic personality and courtroom antics, including proposing to his girlfriend during the trial, drew widespread media attention. Bundy's ability to appear normal and even charming demonstrates how dangerous psychopathic traits can be. Bundy committed crimes across multiple states, highlighting the need for effective communication between law enforcement agencies. Bundy's case marked one of the first major trials to gain widespread media coverage, influencing public perception and the justice process. Bundy's case marked one of the first major trials to gain widespread media coverage. Bundy was executed on January 24, 1989 at Florida State Prison. His execution was celebrated by the crowd outside the prison. His case left a significant impact on criminal justice, particularly in profiling serial killers and forensic evidence. Ted Bundy remains a chilling example of how appearance and charisma can mask a deeply disturbed individual. Thank you.